Why did Godzilla and Shimo stop fighting when the entirety of the story leading up to their battle implied this was a fight of a lifetime for Godzilla? Where in all other such battles he's had in this universe, his enemy hasn't walked away from the fight. That's the question we intend to answer once and for all in this video. But to understand why Godzilla let Shimo's assault go unpunished, we must first go back and look at what is known about their history in this universe. While not really being too much elaborated on, it's said that Godzilla and Shimo have met in the past. The only recorded lore says that the two usually only came face to face when something really horrible was about to happen to this surface world or the Hollow Earth. And a lot of these meetups was often to fight one another over territory and dominance, as they're both very clearly alpha titans. But we can assume that over the millions of years that the two have walked the planet in this universe, that there were times that they met that wasn't due to conflict. And in the lore, their last meetup was likely the battle against Ghidorah in Antarctica. Both Godzilla and Shimo are what I like to call Earth's reptilian guardians. Godzilla represents atomic energy and the oceans. Shimo, ice and snow. So could this mean that there were other Gojira species wait, I can't say that anymore, sorry. Could this mean there were other reptilian Earth guardians that represented fire, earth, and maybe all the elements of our planet? A thought for another time, perhaps. Nonetheless, Godzilla and Shimo, these two represent our planet. They can be peaceful, mesmerizing, and beautiful. Or they can be ruthless in their path of destruction where good and evil aren't safe. And just like our planet, these guardians could be manipulated to cause great change, both good and bad to the world. At some point in the MonsterVerse lore, the giant apes, the Kongs, began to learn this. Eons of capturing and using other lesser titans as slaves, or servants, had made them grow powerful and greedy for more. One day, one specific ape, maybe even the Skar King himself, decided it was time to try and capture and control one of the reptilian guardians. After observing the Alpha Titans, we can assume Shimo was elected as the target due to her less than aggressive nature, but yet still wielding devastating power. She was so mighty, but her attitude was one of peace, not war, so he calculated that she would be the easiest target due to her personality. Now in the movie, we see that the crystal on the end of Skar's whip was able to influence Shimo's actions by causing her pain. Why? Well, we don't know. Guess that one might never be fully explained. So I'll make up some of my own lore till it's officially brought up. My theory is that all the Titans like to have a lair, a place to call their home, and my theory is that Shimo's lair was riddled in these crystal-like objects. This would be the place where Shimo was born in a sense. So her body would be connected to these crystals. So one day Skar goes into Shimo's lair. While she was distracted or out for a holiday, steals one of the crystals, and upon Shimo coming back enraged, my theory is that Skar took a random guess to save his life, waved the crystal at Shimo, and seen how it somehow hurt the beast. This is the only way in my mind for a guardian titan like Shimo to be defeated by this chump. You know that luck had to play a big part in all this. Regardless of how it happened, now Shimo was in the Skar King's control. The ally Godzilla had once fought side by side with was now an enemy. Once again, I find it odd how Godzilla didn't sense Shimo's suffering and come to save her way before the events of Godzilla x Kong. But we can assume the G-Man can only feel a slight bit of what's happening in the Hollow Earth. And only now, after he was injected with Mothra's Mother Earth-like qualities and senses, is he able to at least get a little bit of a vibe for what's going on both on the top and within the world. So Godzilla probably didn't even know about Shimo's capture till the events of the New Empire. When Godzilla got news of the Skar King's plan with Shimo, Godzilla was enraged at how his old ally had turned heel. That's why we see Godzilla start off a lot more violent in his battle with Shimo than how he finishes it. At the very beginning, at this point, he thinks she's betrayed him for his red-headed nemesis.
You turned her against me!
But as the battle did go on, we seen Godzilla ease up in his attacks as he was able to decipher that Shimo's actions weren't that of a hell-bent attacker, but of a reluctant, scared Shimo, who was unable to say no. He understood somehow that the crystal is what was causing her the pain, forcing her to attack, and we could see him actually begin to target it once he figured that out. When Godzilla does manage to break the crystal away from Skar, and then Suko destroys it, we see the G-Man give Shimo a quick roar to see if the crystal really was the cause of her attack, and once she doesn't reply back with a war cry, and Godzilla sees the old innocent face of his fellow guardian, He understands the situation, and at that point, his rage against her is gone for the most part. All things were settled. Shimo never really wanted to fight Godzilla, and the G-Man was probably happy he didn't have to fight to the death with an old ally, who is vital to the Earth's balance, and if they did fight, would have been strong enough to maybe even kill him. And now, as two reptilian guardians do, they go their separate ways to only meet up when the world's on the line again. That's why Godzilla and Shimo stopped fighting in my eyes. Let me hear what you have to say in the comments below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, especially if you've stuck around all the way to the end. That's pretty awesome. Give yourself a big old pat on the back for that one. Give the video a like if you think I earned it, and as always, this has been Jacob. I will see you in the next one.